just making people feel nice. But at what point is the GOP going to figure out that maybe we shouldn't care about feelings, but rather care about principles?
Well,
And what do you think about applying those principles rather than what do you feel about what's good?
As you and I have said in previous podcasts, we have crossed the Rubicon where feelings have replaced reasoning. And it has even now infected the Republican Party. They have abandoned completely the notions and the metrics of competency, of principles, of values, and they're going after the identity politics sweepstakes.
But it's not just California.
Well, I know, but the problem is they can't win this sweepstake because the Democrats have already won that sweepstakes. Okay? So they're playing a game that's already been won. This is what I don't understand.
I mean, it's true with just about every major organization. Like, for example, take Turning Point USA. I mean, it's headed by a white guy, Charlie Kirk.
Right.
But the whole reason why Candace Owens is there is her big thing is black woman or Blexit. Black women walking away from the Democrat Party, or black people walking away from the Democratic Party. I mean, and there's it seemed like there's this parade of people that pull along their identity, their racial or their ethnic or their gender or their whatever identity.
Yeah.
As though that's the reason why Trump won. Trump didn't win because people felt, oh, I'm Latino, I need to vote for Trump. No, that's not how he won. He won because he appealed to people's principles and what people wanted. Jobs, economy, and kicking Washington in the pants, stuff like that. That has nothing to do with your race or your gender. Nothing. Nothing at all. But Republicans can't seem to, or big establishment Republicans can't figure that out.
Republicans remind me of the Catholic Church. They're making the same mistakes as the Vatican and the Cardinals. Not only are they fucking people over that they shouldn't be fucking, okay?
They're also getting...
Yeah. They're also trying to become Protestant. The Catholics are trying to become Protestant, failing miserably because there are already good Protestants. And the Republicans are trying to become Democrats, and wait for it, there are already Democrats. Why would you choose?
How many people? I want to know how many people get up in the morning and go, you know what? I'm black or I'm Jewish, so I'm going to go do black Jewish things today.
Right.
I mean, how many people do that?
Let's call Cage Englander. He can tell us about black Jewry. Right?
He can tell us about white Jews, that's for sure. But I mean, I'm Armenian.
Yeah.
I
know that you're Armenian.
Yes, the world know I'm Armenian. But the thing is,
even when you're eating, you are always hungry. Yeah, I know.
But just because I wake up in the morning and announce to the world that I'm Armenian every 5 seconds doesn't mean that I necessarily go out and make life decisions on, well...
Okay, let's get back to the...
I am Armenian, so...
Let's go back to
I am getting to it. I'm getting to it, exactly. Okay. Because there's this sort of mindset in the GOP that they've somehow agreed with the Democrats that whatever you are born as, or whatever you feel you are, is how you direct your life. That's not true. Just because I'm Armenian... I don't make decisions based on the fact that I'm Armenian. You don't make the decisions because you're Irish. Well, no. Sometimes, unless beer is involved.
When I'm having a drink, but
all bets are off then.
Okay, but the reason for this is because, as you and I have discussed in previous podcasts, one of our most popular podcasts, by the way, is that the Democrats have succeeded in making the Republicans accept their dictionary.
Yes.
Okay? So this is how identity politics becomes a cancer. The Democrats are skilled experts at taking words like homosexual and making it into a very pleasant sounding word like gay. Hello. So now you have these blue-haired, beige-haired, La Cumbre Country Club Republican women eating rubber chicken, going, "Oh, my cousin is gay."
Oh, you mean he's a homosexual?
Oh, you mean he's homosexual? No, 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 no. He's gay.
You have been to way too many women's country clubs. Give it up. They're not.
They're the part.
You see, you're a lot like the GOP trying to get the independent voter or the Democrat-leaning voters. You know, you're with them. They're not interested in you. Okay, they're just not.
No.
But
the name of the new chair,
okay, good.
Chair, Jessica Patterson. Very non-Latina name, by the way. She should change
okay. You know what? So is Robert O. Okay, you know what? Robert O'Rourke. Robert O'Rourke. Oi, he be Robbie O'Rourke. Bob O'Rourke. Hey, my name is Beto. Now I'm like Mexico. I'm more Mexican than Ted Cruz. I'm more Latino than Ted Cruz.
And what are all the headlines? California Republicans just elected their first female Latina. They also elected as vice chair a Vietnamese man. And for treasurer, they elected my good friend, Gregory Gandrud, who's a homosexual. I'm happy about Greg being elected, but
why should anyone? Why in the world?
God.
Why in the world should anyone care about these superficial? What ideas, experiences?
Because they're bought into identity politics.
But it's really that.
It's Marxism.
I will say this though.
Treated that into Western philosophy.
I will say this though. This is something. I've been studying a lot of the representation in the House of Representatives, and I would say in both Republicans and Democrats, the majority are white men.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just me eyeballing. I haven't looked at the graph or anything like that. Yes, that's true. That's true. They're extra ugly white men. Sometimes they're young. I mean, there's about the same amount of representation of. I mean, this is just me eyeballing it. Right. You know, superficially. I don't think that there is one person of color or not one non. There's a couple Latinos in the Republican Party. You know, I don't think there was anyone black. Maybe a couple Asians. But the Democrats. They do have a lot of blacks, a lot of black women, a lot of Latinos, a lot of Latinas, Pacific Islanders, Indians, not feather.
The registration for registered Republicans in the state of California,
like 25-30%,
28%, lower than those declining to state.
What do you mean?
Lower than those declining to state. There are more people registered as declining to state than there are registered Republicans. Hello, identity politics.
You know what? Over in D.C., it's something like 5% registered Republicans. So you know what? Screw you.
I know, but I mean, at least Washington has an excuse. They are welfare care. Oh, the California welfare. That's not a. All right, forget about that. About welfare getters. Okay.
Well, I mean, DC and California kind of have the same problem. They just kind of sit there going, well. I really wonder. I've never seen this before. What if there was a grassroots effort to get people to just vote their values, not to care what race or gender or sexuality or whatever you are, but they're big or whatever. They only
vote their values.
They only voted values, and they told people to vote their values. Because I mean, I have spent more time in the black community now than I have in my whole life.
God love you.
And I'm going to tell you right now, these are closet conservatives. They're pro-life.
Yep.
They're pro-traditional marriage, statistically speaking. much more than the white population is. But they vote Democrat.
They want to work. They want to earn. They want to have their own business. They want to become millionaires. They want to become capitalists.
They totally are on board with don't do drugs, work hard, stay in school. They
don't have a pathway. There is no pathway for them.
Yeah. And I mean,
the Democrats have kept stuffing welfare up their ass.
And they understand that living on welfare forever is a bad thing. They get that.
Finally, after 4 generations, they finally get it.
Well, no, it's not. It's more than that, though. It's just it's such a wealth inequality is not the right word, but the gap is slowly. The more welfare they have, the more they depend on welfare, the more the gap increases, and the more impossible it feels to leave the welfare state. It is impossible. And my question is, what if politicians change their language to, oh, you can't succeed because you're black, to, oh, you can't succeed because...
Well, what if the moon's made out of green cheese? What if the moon's made out of green cheese? Come on. Let's stop playing these hypothetical...
No, it's not a hypothetical. I'm saying, do you think that there would be more success with the Republican Party if they stopped with identity politics, full stop, and just switched, instead of caring about what your identity is, to what are your values? And then
they can't even spell values. They can't spell principles.
I'm speaking as a campaign strategy. For that?
Roger Stone is the only answer. Attack, and never defend.
Well, you see, this is what I'm getting at, is that we're attacking... why aren't we attacking Democrat values? Why aren't we attacking identity politics? Why are we choosing?
Because nobody cares about values, Alex. We have signed on to a relativism. We have signed on to a relativism of principles and values.
That right there is the problem. And there are really two kinds of real fighter conservatives I've come across in DC. There's two kinds. Yeah. One is way rarer than the other, but both are extremely important. The more common one is the we just need to win kind. We need to win. They have a Roger Stone mentality: fight, shoot, always be attacked, always be working, always be. These are people that are not just volunteering, but on staff for campaigns. They're already planning the next campaign. They are working. They are worker bees, and they probably do have a philosophy, but they kind of forgot it because they're so busy. Their head is filled with numbers and redistrict, and how it's gerrymandered and this and that. Then there's the rare kind. Now, I'm probably more in this camp than anything else, and I'll admit they can be very annoying. These are the philosophical conservatives. Well, what are values? Well, what is good? What is conservative?
You're definitely in that group. You are definitely in that group.
Well, I'm trying to fight it, but everyone needs to be both and. I would make the argument.
Well, it depends upon whether you want to win an election or lose an election. When we did the whole previous podcast on Roger Stone, what was the big takeaway that you had from that?
You got to fight, and not apologize for it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And
we're in a knife fight in a dark alley with people who want to kill us.
The question is, though, is that what are we willing to sacrifice to win? Even our values, the whole reason why we're fighting in the first place for. I mean, I'm all for. I'm not convinced for the right kind of battle.
I'm not convinced. There seems to be an assumption in your questioning that if I fight to win, I'm somehow compromising my principles and values. I would disagree.
No. Let me amend that.
Oh, okay.
It's not a zero-sum game. It's not an either-or choice.
Okay.
You can make it an either-or choice, and I never will advise you for that. But and as I explained, the two different groups in the worker bee sort of mentality, I'm noticing that their values and their reasons for fighting are being slowly forgotten, and they're more enraptured by winning rather than what they're fighting for.
Right.
And
Right.
I could be wrong. I mean, every now and then they go to a CPAC or some sort of rally and they remember about, oh yeah, freedom and, and liberty and justice and all that, founding fathers and all that good stuff. And that's great for them. But I do get concerned that identity politics, for example, is a poison in this bigger group because they're now so convinced in winning. They see the success of the Democrat Party. And they really want to win like they win. So they latch onto the identity politics. But the thing about that's what scares me. Is that by biting this by drinking this Kool-Aid, you are sacrificing your values. The identity politics line, in my opinion, is when you cross over to where you think you're winning. You cross over from your values to a place where you think you are winning. It is literally sacrificing the value of individuality, to collectivism, all in the name of fighting for individuality.
Yeah, but when the Republicans embrace the identity politics through their new party chair, their new party vice chair, who's Vietnamese, the chair is Latina, female, and the treasurer is we want more of those people to become Republicans and vote Republican. You have given away your principles and values. You're absolutely correct about that, Alex. Absolutely correct. Okay. Whereas the Roger Stone approach is to attack the principles or lack of principles of your opponent and never defend your own. Because your own should be the presumptive starting place of the discussion. If you get your definitions of terms in play, then your opponents are always going to lose the debate. The Democrats have succeeded in making sure that the Republicans are now reading and acting on their playbook and using their dictionary and no longer the dictionary of principles and values. Yeah, I couldn't agree with you.
I love winning, and I think we should strive for winning, but we really do need to go back to our. I mean, I hate to say it, but we need to really reread our dictionary. Not even we need to learn how to read.
No, I agree with that too. But we're working on that. Let's bring this home by summarizing for the listeners and our subscribers. Thank you, by the way, for doing both. Let's summarize this: is that the future is going to be a really hot, contested cultural war. Each part of the debate has the First Amendment right to advocate what they want. As I was talking to Seth Gruber today on my TV show, the abortionists have a right to advocate what they're going to advocate. The transgender people, they have the First Amendment right to advocate what they're doing. The gay community, as opposed to the homosexual, everybody has equal First Amendment rights. Yep. It's going to be up to the individual in the final analysis to go inside of themselves and ask themselves, what world do I want to live? Do I want to live in a world of infanticide, genital confusion, open borders for thugs, rapists, and terrorists? Or do I want to live in a world of transcendental, objective values? That's the question.
Yes. And I personally believe that the best campaign strategy would be to focus there rather than, oh, you're this or you're that. So.
Well, we agree on that. So let's cheers.
Cheers. Love how we did it with unison. We just know what the other person's thinking. You know what I'm thinking right now? Subscribe.
Please. On iTunes is the best way to subscribe, right? Is that right?
Everything.
Yeah, subscribe.
Just be very thorough.
By the way, it's free. It's free. It don't have to cost you anything. That way you won't miss one episode of this madcap discussion.
We're very happy people. You could say we're very carefree, too, about everything we do.
And you know what? Carefree. And you know what? I'm not going to do my Bye-bye tonight.
Oh, that was real considerate of you.
Hi, Alex.